and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavour show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at this really fascinating set of sources, kind of a snapshot from an agricultural community. And it seems like everything's happening at once, a big career change, a sort of logistical mess, and even a pretty dramatic start to a romance, all tangled together.
Yeah, it's quite the convergence. Professional life, personal life, even animal drama, all colliding. So our mission here is really to dig underneath that surface.
Right.
We want to pull out the specifics, the logistics behind the career move, the details of the conservation work, and maybe the psychology behind, well, everything else.
Okay, so specifically, we're diving into Stella's new conservation job, how this whole dog-sitting crisis with Cleo got sorted, like, immediately.
Which is amazing in itself.
Totally. And then there's this incident with Rory getting injured by a deer, which somehow fast-tracked things with Paul.
Yeah, quite the day. So let's start with Stella's new role, the career bit.
Okay, let's unpack that. So the sources say her new job kicked off with this really well-attended meeting. Pip mentioned shitloads of people, apparently, both online and in person.
That's a strong start. Indicates real interest in the initiative.
And Stella came away feeling, really positive, like she could make a genuine difference, which, let's be honest, isn't always easy to feel in, like, standard commercial farming.
No, absolutely not. And what's really key here, I think, is why she's such a good fit. She straight up says it's because she speaks the same language as the other farmers.
Ah, right. Because she is one.
Exactly. That's not just a small thing. For this kind of outreach, trying to get farmers on board with conservation, having that shared identity, that immediate understanding, it bypasses so much potential skepticism. It's instant credibility. Her superpower, really.
And it sounds like she's got the right kind of boss to actually use that superpower, Lou. Described as a darling. Straightforward, no edge on him, and he told her explicitly, take the initiative. She even calls him a normal boss. Which, why is normal such high praise these days?
Well, it probably speaks volumes about her previous experiences, maybe. But more importantly, it points to trust.
Okay.
For the kind of role she's in, project-based, lots of site visits near Gorton, liaising with farmers, environmental groups, all that. She needs autonomy. A micromanager would kill it. So normal here means trusting, empowering, essential, not just nice.
Gotcha. So the job itself is project-based, out of these old, converted, tied cottages. Lots of field work.
Right. And the first big project is, well, it's quite specific and interesting. It's called Bridging the Hungry Gap.
Okay, I've heard that term, but usually for livestock feed, right?
Usually, yes. But this is different. It's specifically for wild birds, addressing that period, mostly winter, when their natural food sources just disappear.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how are they tackling that?
It seems like a really smart, localized approach.
Step one.
Get an ornithologist involved.
Right, the bird expert.
Exactly. To map out which species are struggling in that specific area and figure out exactly what kind of food they need.
Okay.
You can't just scatter any old seed.
Makes sense. Then what?
Then she works with the local cluster farmers, that community again, to actually provide that food.
And how do the farmers provide it? Is it costly for them?
That's the clever part.
Yeah.
She mentions maybe using grants, sure, but also potentially diverting surplus seeds.
Ah, like stuff they already have.
Precisely. Farmers often have surplus or bits of land that aren't maybe prime cropping land. With a bit of support, maybe a small grant, that land or that surplus can become vital winter feeding grounds.
So it's using existing resources within the farm system itself.
Yes. It avoids bringing in expensive specialized feed from outside. It turns something potentially seen as waste or marginal into a real environmental positive. It's genuinely smart, practical conservation.
Okay, so dream job, supportive boss, clever project. Sounds perfect, but then...
Then reality bites.
Yeah. The immediate clash with her personal life. Specifically, the dog, Cleo. Even before she could properly celebrate the job, she's stressed, thinking she's asking too much, passing Cleo from pillar to post.
It's such a common tension, isn't it? Especially with jobs that require travel or unpredictable hours.
Yeah.
And the stress was clearly manifesting, leading to Exhibit A.
Oh god, the trainer incident. Cleo chewing up Paul's old trainer. which somehow ended up near Pip's bins after migrating from Brookfield. The logistics are baffling.
It just shows the chaos, doesn't it? Passing the dog around, things getting misplaced. And Paul, bless him, was apparently quite gracious about it, said they were just his old knockabout trainers.
Still, for Stella, it crystallized the problem. Was it the job or the dog? She was genuinely worried about even asking Louie if Cleo could come to work. Thought it was a big ask so soon.
And you'd think in most places it would be a big ask. Maybe even a non-starter. Insurance, policies, all that stuff.
Right, but Louie
just flips the script entirely. Turns out he loves dogs.
unbelievable luck.
Well, maybe not just luck. He apparently didn't have his own dog with him, simply because his old border collie was at the vet's getting cataract surgery. So he gets it.
So he didn't just say yes, he was enthusiastic?
More than enthusiastic. He was apparently really pleased. She was a dog person, said it confirmed she was a good hire.
Wow, okay, that's more than just being nice about dogs. That says something about his management style again, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's about flexibility, trusting your employees' judgment, valuing their well-being over rigid rules. He saw it wasn't just about the dog, it was about making the job work for Stella.
So she can bring Cleo to the office and on-site visits every day.
Seems so. Problem solved. Instantly. It removed her biggest source of stress right off the bat, which, going back to what we said earlier, frees her up to actually take that initiative he wanted her to take.
It all connects. Amazing. And as a little side note, Rosie, who's staying with Toby, is already missing Cleo. So the dog went from being a logistical nightmare to a missed member of the household.
A very rapid turnaround for Cleo's social status. Happy ending there.
Okay, so with the dog drama settled, the focus shifts immediately. High-stakes personal stuff now. Rory.
Right. Rory's out checking the stags during the rut, which, the sources mentioned, was a task Adam had trusted him with for the first time.
A bit of responsibility there. And he sees a stag, it's bleeding down its face.
And his instinct, probably a good intention, is to get closer, check it out.
And the stag went for him. Injured arm.
Yeah. Which brings Paul, the vet nurse, rushing over with the first aid kit. And this is where we need to pause for a serious safety point.
Okay.
Paul's reaction is critical here. He stresses that deer on a farm, especially during the rut, are not tame. They're wild animals. You absolutely do not approach them like that.
So Rory was being reckless.
Extremely. Paul makes it clear. Leave them alone unless it's a genuine, absolute emergency.
And even then,
if you have to handle them, say for an antler repair or something serious, you need proper kit, a specialized setup. He mentions using a race and put them in a cattle crush. Proper safety protocols, not just wandering up to them.
Right. Very clear warning there. But okay, from the danger comes the drama.
Exactly. The pivot is incredible. Paul's there, patching up Rory's arm.
High adrenaline moment for both of them, presumably.
You'd think so. And Rory just comes out with it. Admits he didn't just call Paul for first aid. He wanted to talk about us.
Wow. Okay. Timing. Using the injury as an opener, is that strategic or just seizing the moment?
It's hard to say if it was calculated, but psychologically, it makes a kind of sense. Shared danger, shared vulnerability. It could accelerate intimacy like nothing else.
Like it breaks down barriers quickly.
Precisely. All that fear, adrenaline, the sudden reliance on someone for care, it can create this intense, instant connection that might otherwise take weeks to build. Cuts through the awkwardness.
And Paul was receptive, despite the, patient-carer dynamic.
Totally receptive. He basically says, I'm not opposed to it, and boom, plans are made. Saturday, Phelpsham, bars, a club.
That fast.
That fast. They even shared a kiss right then and there. Paul kind of jokes it's discouraged for a vet nurse, but clearly the moment took over.
Okay, but the injury itself, was it serious? Did the stag keep causing trouble?
Thankfully, no. The sources mentioned Paul saw the stag later and is just jumping around like a mad thing. So, painful for Rory, yes, but not a lasting issue for the animal or a major injury. The drama served its purpose, let's say.
Its romantic purpose.
Seems like it. And they didn't even wait till Saturday. They met up again that same evening. At the Bull.
Where everyone else was ending up.
Right. Rory was meant to be meeting Adam for a drink, maybe to celebrate not being seriously gored, I don't know.
Probably.
But he apparently told Stella and Pip he and Paul had unfinished business. So the connection was immediate and ongoing.
So the Bull becomes the hub for everything wrapping up. Let's just quickly tie those threads together.
Okay, the social logistics.
We've got Stella and Pip treating Paul to dinner there. Why again? Oh, right, compensation for the chewed trainer.
The infamous Exhibit A. And Paul was free for that dinner because his original plans got canceled. His auntie got a date.
Amazing. One canceled plan makes way for another resolution. The community effect.
It's that interconnectedness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone's date night frees up someone else for a thank you dinner related to a dog chewing incident. It all slots together.
And meanwhile, Stella, after her first day, the dog drama, witnessing the Rory Paul situation, she's still trying to juggle things.
Yeah, she wants to make it to Jill's birthday celebration later that evening. Tea party / evening do.
Right. But she knows the new job, even with the dog sorted, will likely make her late. Still balancing.
It perfectly sums up the day, really. You've got Stella's professional win, which directly solves her biggest personal headache, Cleo's care. That positive momentum is powerful.
And at the same time,
you have Rory's moment of, frankly, dangerous foolishness, which acted like a catalyst. It pushed a potential relationship into reality, like instantly.
all happening, all resolving pretty much within hours and converging in the same social space.
Yeah, it shows how tightly woven this community is. Problems arise, solutions are found quickly, often through informal networks and shared spaces. It's chaotic, but it works.
So that brings us towards the end of this deep dive. We've definitely pulled out some interesting nuggets. Everything from like practical conservation strategy using farm surplus for wild birds to serious safety advice about handling deer.
Definitely don't try Rory's approach.
Please don't. And then there's the psychology of how stress and danger can just slam the accelerator on a relationship.
Yeah, what really strikes me is the power of context here. Shared context.
Yeah.
Stella gets the job partly because she's a farmer. She has that built-in trust. She speaks the language.
Right, and Paul and Rory.
Their shared world, the farm, the animals, the vet work, it meant they could leap from that intense first aid moment straight into planning a date. That shared understanding smoothed the path incredibly quickly.
It dissolves barriers. So, as a final thought for you listening, think about Stella's project. Bridging that hungry gap for birds by cleverly using something already there, surplus seeds.
Finding value in the overlooked.
Exactly. So consider this. In your own world, your professional life perhaps, what's your surplus seed? What overlooked resource or maybe underused skill or even just a bit of spare capacity could you strategically redirect?
Could you use it to bridge a gap somewhere, help out a group that needs it, or solve a tricky logistical problem that keeps tripping people up?
Worth thinking about. Find your own surplus seed.
Until next time.
Catch you then.
So, what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just
And,
moving mics around.
So, what do you do?
I'll do the spot effects on the archers. Any
Are you what we
movements
call Foley then?
and- kind of. Yep. That's,
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the bull bar. That's.
This one.
Yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline. I mean,
I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever